It goes ahead to say that the broad-based relationship is complicated. Those managing it now, are they capable? Because it is only one Baba Raila Odinga who could manage it. This is from Winnie Odinga. I also see Oburu Oginga on the other side saying it's Raila who left us in the broad-based government. If it comes to 2027, we shall look at the best person to talk with or go with it alone. So here's the dispute. Yala MP Winnie Odinga, the daughter of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, on Saturday questioned the competence of her uncle, Dr. Oburu Oginga, to lead ODM, even as she alleged a plot to self the party, exposing simmering differences that could threaten the Orange Party's existence. This is a story covered on pages 4 and also 5. Moving on to the transport sector, I see sitting side saddle on border borders can be deadly, warns NTSA. So I think probably most people can relate to this. And I think even for the ladies, they will prefer the sitting side saddle. And I see officials from Road Safety Agency say sitting style increases the risk of sustaining serious injuries in the event of an accident. So when you maybe, it could be your dress and you feel maybe it's a bit short. So I think sometimes it's important, if at all unaenda kupanda boda as a lady, you don't sit on the side, because the moment you sit like this side to side saddle, then you may find yourself at a very big risk. So you'd rather do a trouser or just something that you can feel comfortable with so that you sit well to avoid injuries. So that is what the transport sector is covering today. And I also see here the food crisis, WFP report, why more Kenyans are now facing hunger. It goes ahead to say a new food and agriculture organization and World Food Program assessment warns that Kenya faces a worsening hunger crisis, highlighting growing risks from climate conflict and also economic pressures. So that's definitely something for our consideration, even in terms of prayer and also in helping. I see business here, the sector saying Moi era contractors assets up for sale in KCB loan row. He says here KCB Group has started auctioning assets from former Spencon Kenya Limited directors to recover 1.35 billion Kenyan shillings. That's a story covered on page 16. And now let us have a look at what is being reported on the Standard newspaper this morning, even as we look at the top page especially. So that's what I'm going to be covering, and some of the other stories even covered on this newspaper, the Standard, have also been listed, but we see the duplicate of what we have seen in the Daily Nation. Raila reincarnate. So I'm seeing Winnie Odinga has burst onto the national stage, igniting a succession battle that could redefine or fracture the Odinga political empire. Her fiery debut at ODM's 20th anniversary in Mombasa energized supporters and unsettled rivals. I'm seeing signaling her intent to shape a party already split by competing camps. With Raila gone, ODM faces its most volatile moment in decades, an aging Oburu at the helm, rising functional tensions, and a bold new contender challenging the old order. Winnie next moves could determine the party's future. Winnie Odinga here saying when it came to the matter of broad-based government, the people of ODM entrusted one person with the management of that relationship. That person was Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, and that relationship is complicated. That is from Winnie Odinga. We continue to follow up on the same just to see what will come up from that. And I also see here how Ruto's self-worship, romantic rhetoric mask reality on ground, a story covered on the Daily Nation as well. And I also see here court to demand immediate deportation of Chinese national court assaulting a factory worker, which is quite an interesting story right there. You can have a look at it. The Business Daily this morning is covering Nigeria's zenith to acquire Kenya's Paramount Bank. West Africa banking giant seeks CBK approval, and also transaction follows regulatory rise in minimum core capital. And I see here on the Business Daily, something else being covered is men dominate high-value M-Pesa transactions. So this is interesting. I see men accounted for 61% of mobile money cash that flowed through M-Pesa, Airtel Money, and T-Cash, reflecting male dominance of Super Earners Club. This is interesting, and that's a story covered on the economy sector. On the economy sector, still, I see global agencies to set aside 2/3 of jobs for Kenyans. An interesting story here. International development agencies will be required to reserve at least 2/3 of jobs for Kenyans to qualify for diplomatic privileges in proposed legal changes that also withdraw their legal immunity from contractual disputes, labor grievances, and also traffic offenses. And now, the page 2 here, there's a story that has been covered. Tanzania, Mombasa tycoons face off over LPG after court order. And there's a quote here from Samuel Minor saying, automation marks a decisive move towards tech-driven tax verification, promising speed and efficiency, but also raising the stakes for taxpayers. That's a story also covered extensively on the Business Daily. And that's just it for the newspaper review. You can grab a copy of your favorite, as I've been able to inform you of the highlights. You can have a look at it. And let's keep praying for our nation, Kenya. Let's keep helping those we can, and especially these hunger-stricken areas, because we are being told here that they have been facing it rough. But also we continue to pray even for the political sector of our nation, even as we are almost getting to 2027, because I know 2026 will really be full of campaigns here and there. So that means that 2027 is not far. So we need to pray. We need to pray ahead of those elections that the Lord is going to help us. There will be no violence, and that God is going to choose godly leaders who are going to lead our nation. So you can also tune in to Hope FM at the top of every hour. We do have news updates. That's 93.3 right here in Nairobi. And of course, for those who also love to watch news, you can, tune in here at 7 p.m. and also at 9 p.m. for the prime time news. And at this juncture, allow us to now have a look at the video of the day and see what we can learn from it.